Hello and a very warm welcome to Public Forum. I am Amandra Bhatt. Today we focus on the micro, small and medium enterprises of India, also considered the backbone of Indian economy. And rightly so, the country's over 3.6 crore thriving enterprises contribute over 45% to the industrial output and employ over 8 crore people. Critical to the country's economic growth, the MSME's contribution to India's GDP stands at a significant 9% plus today. In spite of its immense contribution towards economic development, this sector is infested with a host of challenges and problems. The challenges and problems are not only many in numbers but are multidimensional also. High cost of credit, low access to new technology, lack of access to international markets, lack of skilled manpower and inadequate infrastructure facilities, to name a few. Today in Public Forum, we discuss the situation of small and medium enterprises in the country, the challenges that they face and what can be done to protect their interests. And to discuss the same, we have with us in our studios a very eminent panel of guests. Please welcome Dr. H.P. Kumar, Chairman cum Managing Director, National Small Industries Corporation. Welcome to Public Forum, Dr. Kumar. Sitting next to him is Verghese Chandy, a Deputy Editor with Financial Express. Welcome to Public Forum, Mr. Chandy. And we are also joined by Arun Jain, Co-Chairman, ASSOCHAM. Welcome to Public Forum, Mr. Jain. Dr. Kumar, I'd like to begin with you. For the benefit of our viewers, if you could tell us, since SME is a fairly broad term, how big exactly is the SME sector in terms of the business that it has done in India?
See, we call it as MSME sector, not the SME,
right.
Micro, small and medium enterprises, because
right.
micro constitutes a very large number of the whole MSME sector. Well, the sector's contribution to the national economy is very significant and very large. As you mentioned in your initial remarks, almost 45% of the manufacturing output comes from this sector and 40% of total exports comes from this sector. You mentioned 9% GDP contribution, but if you add services, it would be much more than 30% GDP contribution, because a large chunk of MSME sector is involved in services sector also. So it's a very vibrant and very heterogeneous sector, spread all over the country, giving employment to a large number of people,
right.
More than almost 70 million people. And if you add the families dependent on this 70 million, it will be almost 1/4 of the population dependent on this sector.
Right.
So it's a very heterogeneous, very vibrant sector. Producing almost everything in the country, more than 6,000 items,
right.
6,000 kinds of products, and marketing it throughout the country, because small areas, villages, towns, they are basically depending on the products manufactured by the micro and small enterprises. But there are problems, there are challenges, challenges in terms of market access, challenges in terms of availability of funding support, whether it is credit or bank finance or equity, startup capital, or the biggest challenge after the globalization is basically the competitiveness from the foreign markets. You see what is happening in terms of the imports coming from China and other neighboring countries. So this sector has been facing a lot of pressure, of course, and a lot of steps are being taken. Of course, we'll discuss during the course of discussion if you want me to.
Sure. We will come to all of those steps that have been taken. We'll discuss them in greater detail a little later. But what you're saying is it's a very important segment of the Indian economy which has grown very fast over the years, employing millions of people, of course, with a significant contribution to our GDP as well as our exports. But Mr. Chandy, was it always like this? Because this term MSME, we've come across it over the last few years only. Till say a decade ago, it was basically SSI, what we used to hear, small scale industries. And has the mindset about these industries or this particular sector, has it also changed, looking at its contribution to our economy?
Yeah, certainly today it's considered as a very vital part of the economy. It's in fact is the backbone of the economy. And not only in India, in all countries, the governments are focusing on the MSME sector to promote growth, economic growth.
Right.
So in India also a lot of steps have been taken especially after the economic crisis. So today this is considered as the real engine to drive growth.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and a real driver of our economic growth. But Mr. Jain, how do you look at the journey so far from small-scale industries to being defined as MSME sector?
See, in case if you see that right from the day of the independence till date as such, this was, as Mr. Kumar rightly said, was the backbone of the Indian production as such, primarily because we in India, as entrepreneurs, as industrialists, we were facing the crunch of the capital. And right from the very beginning, in case if you see the composition of this MSME sector, 94% approximately total units in this sector are micro industries as such. Micro industries means the definition which have been given is up, in the service sector up to 10 lakh rupees worth of the investment, and in the manufacturing up to 25 lakh rupees worth of the investment. So 94% units in this particular sector are those who have invested only 25 lakh rupees investment in the manufacturing sector. So you can understand that these are really the growth engine or the dream of an average Indian industrialist or entrepreneur as such,
right,
on a common platform. So from that journey, in case if you see today that yes, we have come far ahead. Various governments over the period of 60-70 years of our independence have done a lot of things, but yes, we have got a lot of challenges in front of us as entrepreneurs or as businessmen in the MSME sectors as such. To name a few, of course, Mr. Kumar have mentioned quite a lot. The foreign competition, especially from the China, which
right,
the small, because most of the products which have been produced by this sector are primarily coming into the consumer sectors as such, whether it is into the textile, apparel, or you name it. Most of food items or other items as such. All these sectors are getting a tough competition from the neighboring countries as such, which is giving a sleepless nights to our micro sector and small scale sectors as such.
Well, I would caution a bit. We are not scared.
Okay.
MSME sector is not scared of the imports from China. The only thing is it needs support, because our skilled manpower, our managerial and technical manpower is competent.
See,
So you're saying the sector has grown
looking
competitive.
Hand-holding in terms of technology support, investments in the infrastructure,
Okay.
and bringing latest technology so that we can scale up.
Right.
Because
Absolutely.
it's a question of scaling up the production and then bringing down the cost
And marketing it well.
and
as
marketing it.
Of course, all this requires the credit facility and the the finance as such, which we are not getting at the cheap rates in India. Looking back to our neighbors as such, who are getting a good support from their respective governments, we are not getting that support as such.
Right. Dr. Kumar, it is widely accepted that lack of a credible platform for these companies to raise reasonably priced capital. How big is the challenge?
Well, India is the only country in the world where the government mechanism provides priority sector lending to the small scale industries. Erstwhile small scale industries, now micro and small enterprises.
Right.
Under the licensing requirements of the Reserve Bank of India for all the commercial banks, whether it is Indian nationalized banks or the foreign banks, there is a requirement for providing prioritized credit to the small scale sector. That is one of the sectors included in the priority sector lending. So, and government has been reviewing from time to time in order to see that this lending is really going to the sector. During the last review meeting, which was, task force which was set up by the Honorable Prime Minister, a fresh target was set that besides this priority sector lending targets, there should be annual growth of 20% year-on-year basis for lending to the micro and small sector. And out of that, 60% of the credit which is going, incremental credit, should go to the micro, because micro is one sector which is 94% as
Right.
Iman
Comprises a big
mentioned.
chunk of the MSME sector.
And micro is the sector which is giving, catering to the larger share in the employment, as far as the employment opportunities is concerned. So credit is one part where the government is very active
Okay.
through the bank, through the policies, which is a very unique policy in the world, that you have to provide priority sector lending for the
Right.
growth of this particular sector besides other sectors. Another thing is, for raising private equity, the SME exchange has been established
Right.
separately. I can understand that still, in spite of doing all these, the need for credit, is not fully met. There is still a gap,
Okay.
and particularly the startups are facing difficulty in
Right.
raising funds. And unless you add new enterprises, new startups, how are we going to achieve the manufacturing sector growth, which is targeted to go up from 18% to 25% over
Right.
the next 10 years? That is a big challenge, because we have to add capacities.
And we are also aiming to increase the contribution of MSME sector
Exactly.
to our GDP growth.
Exactly.
But I'll have to take a short break right now in the program. When we come back, we look at some of the other key challenges faced by the MSME sector. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Public Forum. We are discussing the challenges faced by the MSME sector and what are the policies to protect their interests. Mr. Jain, I'll continue with you. We were discussing how the MSME sector has huge potential, how it has contributed to the Indian economic growth. But there is a major problem that these companies face, that of finance, that of credit. How big is this a challenge according to you?
See, it's a big and a great challenge for an entrepreneur or a first-time entrepreneur, because in the micro sector, if you see, most of the first-generation entrepreneurs are coming. So when they go to the bank, they're facing a very tough challenge to get the finance from the banks as such. Though it looks on the paper a very good policy, which government have designed, but while implementing the same policy, I think we have to systematize the policy implementation in such a fashion that the first generation entrepreneur or the existing businessman is not harassed. Today, if you go to a bank and ask for the credit, you are virtually harassed in the banks as such. And this is, I'm not taking out of the cuff. This is, I'm telling you out of the experiences of our members who have floated me so many queries, and they told us their experiences that, look, the banks have been asking enormous collaterals which they can't provide, though there is a scheme from the central government to give you a collateral free loan also, but that amount is very small, of 100 crore rupees, which is 1 crore rupees individual, and total grant is of 100 crore as such. But in total, for a size of the country in India, and for a sector like micro sector of 94%, which is giving almost like 50% production, I mean, this is a peanut, and government is not giving the support which is required for this sector.
Okay.
Government is not implementing these schemes or not giving the proper guidelines to the banks to implement those schemes in a friendly manner to these entrepreneurs.
I'll let Dr. Kumar respond to that, but before that, let me quickly come to Mr. Chandy. Mr. Chandy, many banks also often blame the MSMEs for being denied loans. They often say that they do not maintain their accounts properly, or they are often, they lack proper financial management. Though we do agree that the government has been trying to push the banks to lend to MSME sector. What can be done in this regard to address this challenge?
First of all, MSMEs have to get a credit rating. There is a government scheme for that. Government finances it also. Once you have a credit rating, then it is easier for you to get loan. The banks will have some confidence in you to lend you. So that is the first step.
Okay.
Then again, the MSMEs have to professionalize their business. They have to adopt global best practices. then only somebody will lend to them. Then of course there are government schemes like here said, there is a CGTMSE scheme, the collateral free loans are available, plus angel financing is there, incubators are there, venture fund, venture capitalists are there.
Right.
So MSMEs have to kind of get into a proper system and avail of these opportunities.
Okay.
Instead of always telling the government to give everything.
Dr. Kumar.
No, I would like to respond, of course, to the issues raised by our friend. That, you see, bank credit comes only to the people who really can deserve credit. It is not that the bank will throw away the money, because bank is also a custodian of the public funds. While a sympathetic consideration for the micro, small and medium enterprises is desirable, but banks cannot get away or remove the minimum requirement of, looking at the appraisal and viability and all those requirements which of course bank is for the safety of their funds. Now, in order to see that the credit is available at lower cost, at without much hassles, this credit rating mechanism has been started by the government. It is implemented by NSIC, whereby 75% of the cost of rating is also subsidized. It's only 8,000-10,000 rupees which a small industry has to pay to get the credit rating of an independent rating agency, like CRISIL and ICRA and CARE and Fitch and all those internationally accredited rating agencies. Now, with the rating agency report, if you are deserving and you go to bank, the bank is willing to consider your proposal. Now, coming to the collateral, 1 crore, of course, the government has set up a fund, Credit Guarantee Fund Trust, where collateral free credit is granted up to 1 crore. It is not 100 crore fund, it is a 2,500 crore fund, which can be leveraged to provide guarantees even up to 1 lakh of crore. 50,000 crore has already been guaranteed. 100 crore is only a different one. Even recently another 500 crore. In the last budget, the Honorable Finance Minister announced another 500 crore, funding to the SIDBI to set up another credit guarantee for factoring receivable services, for covering the factoring, financing. So, I don't think there is any problem as far as collateral up to 1 crore is concerned. Yes, there is a need to create more awareness amongst the banks so that they know and they willingly accept that. But as far as government scheme is concerned, that is okay. As far as paperwork and documentation is concerned, that is a problem. See, if micro industry or the small industry does not have the audited accounts, naturally they are going to have problems. Because banks will need some kind of certified accounts or some kind of paper. The project report for a new startup, your PAN, your registration, all this documentation is required, which small industry, of course, being very small, they face difficulty, and that is how this, some of the proposals do not materialize. But I would say that by and large, this is our experience, that credit is not a big issue. Credit is not a big issue. Marketing and competition from imports are the bigger issues which we have experienced.
I see you shaking your head there.
No, not at all. Sorry, Mr. Kumar, I don't agree with you, because in case if you go as a businessman, as an entrepreneur to any bank as such, first of all, I'll just mention the data, historical data I'll be just giving. In 2002, in case if you see, the micro units were approximately 1 crore and they were employing approximately 2 crore plus people over there, and today if you see, their number is grown to 3 crore plus as such, with the employment of 7 crore plus people over there. So in case if you divide, simply see the numbers, average 1 unit is employing 2 persons as such. That is historical data. I am not saying just to say something. So over there, in case if you say that you want the accounts also, you want audited accounts also, you want the credit rating also, so that's not possible, because we are talking about MSME sectors. We are not talking about the rest of the 6%. We are talking about the major
already
94% also.
Schemes
What he is talking about is only about the 3% of the small scale and 3% of the medium scale companies, which can have the credit rating, which can have the audit accounts, which can have a proper systems of the reports where the venture capitalist or angel capitalist can go. We are not talking about the 6% only. We are talking about the 100%.
But Mr. Jain, what about the already existing schemes that seek to lower the risk that the lenders are facing? For instance, the Credit Guarantee Trust is a
That's
case
what
in
I'm
point.
saying. That's what I'm saying. In case if you go to the banks, you're getting virtually harassed over there. In case if you go to any lending agency as such, you're not getting the credit very easily. Not only the credit, even the equity capital raising is a Herculean task. Even though the government have started, the emerging market platform or the SME platform which have been started by the BSE, it looks like to be very simple. But in case if you go for the BSE listing, for a small scale sector, you know, the current cost of BSE listing is ranging between 50 to 60 lakh rupees. And that too, with a market maker which is going to be there or not. You're not very sure.
Dr. Kumar, how
the
genuine are
point is,
these
if
concerns?
everything is bad, then let us not start a small industry first of all. But I am not that cynical. Small industries are prospering. There is a growth of almost more than 12% every year, more than the large industries.
No, Mr. Kumar,
manufacturing
the
growth.
point is
No,
that we
I'm
have
coming
a
to
problem.
that. I'm coming to
let
that. Let
him
me
make his
complete
point.
that. I'm coming to that. See, I mean, you don't want to complete the paperwork for the bank. How can you get the funding from the bank? If the bank says that you give me your accounts, show me that, after all, bank is dealing with public money. Bank wants security, we have provided collateral free credit. Bank wants documents, naturally we have to give some registration, PAN, memorandum, balance sheet. Well, if you are talking of only two-man micro enterprise or a very, very micro, there are micro credit institutions which are providing funding without even these paperwork. But for a small, reasonably small unit which needs 5 lakhs rupees, 2 lakhs rupees, 10 lakhs rupees, they are very small enterprises. They are able to complete the documentation. I don't think there is any problem with them.
Okay, I'll let Mr. Chandy come in here.
Yeah, see, first of all, business is not everybody's cup of tea. If you have an acumen for business, then only you get into business.
Yeah.
And it's very challenging also. Even if you are successful today and a big company today, tomorrow you can be nobody. So it keeps on, the economy and the market keeps on challenging you. Unless you are up to it, don't get into it. Now what happens is everybody is getting into business because government is subsidizing it. No, they use some kind of influence or some corruption. Everybody gets into it. Then they are unable to go after a certain point. So actually what business needs is professional help. So government has got a lot of programs for the MSC sector.
Okay.
But the problem is in implementation. The basic problem is that government does everything through the government sector. See, it has got it does funds everything. All programs are, carried through the nodal agencies. The nodal agencies are certainly efficient, but just to exaggerate, see, I am a nodal agency. I get one order, one program this week.
Right.
Next week, I get another program. So I keep on getting one mandate after another. And actually, there is nobody to carry these programs forward. So there has to be a total focus on one issue at a time.
Okay.
And get it through. Actually, this is happening in skill development at the moment.
Okay.
The government has set up a skill development corporation, and they are doing a good work. This is basically because the private sector has got into the business. Though the government is the nodal, there is a nodal agency for that. The private sector enterprises are taking it forward. So that should happen with all the programs.
All right. So you're saying basically implementation or execution of the existing schemes and policies is key.
Private sector also should be involved in that so that these programs can become more successful.
All right. Well, on that note, it's time for me to take yet another break in the program. When we come back, we look at the other difficulty faced by the MSME sector, that is the marketing and distribution of their products. Stay with us. We'll be right back. welcome back to Public Forum. We are talking about the challenges faced by the MSME sector and the opportunities that lie ahead. Dr. Kumar, talking about the other key challenge that you mentioned earlier in the program, the question of marketing and distribution of the products that this sector makes. We do understand that most of these companies do not have their own marketing network. How big is a challenge marketing of products, and what are the schemes or what are the ways in which the government is trying to help the sector?
Well, this is a marketing is a challenge, of course, especially with the globalization and a lot of imports taking place in the areas where our small scale sector was very strong. In fact, if you take toys and garments and all these products now are getting imported. That is one issue, of course, in terms of the competition from imports and building capacities, so that we can reduce our cost, improve our quality and face competition, not only for the purpose of import substitution but also for growing exports. So that is a big challenge. That is first one. Second is within the country, for catering to the domestic market, we need marketing infrastructure, which still we are in the nascent stage. We have to develop the supply chain, still not done. That is why this FDI in retail was, one of the contributing factor. It is supposed to be, because it is going to bring retail, this technology in developing the supply chain and marketing infrastructure also. And as you know, that small scale sector being small in size, they are not, individually able to manage this marketing infrastructure. They cannot set up marketing, they cannot set up warehousing, they cannot set up distribution centers or cold chain or so that is why this companies, it has to be done at the corporate level.
Okay.
And some efforts have been made at the level of government to provide support to the institutions, associations, small industries associations, to work together and develop the marketing infrastructures like exhibition complexes, display centers, warehouses, by forming societies at the local level. So, and a lot of funding is also made available by the government departments for
we understand you also have a marketing assistance scheme in place.
We have a marketing assistance scheme which helps in displaying and participation of SMEs in the foreign exhibitions, Indian exhibitions, providing them support. Basically the purpose is to develop new markets and help them in securing international markets and reaching out to the customers in the domestic market. But the biggest issue is the infrastructure, marketing infrastructure and the supply chain. So that is still growing, and with that, of course, a lot of change will happen as far as the marketing help to the MSME sector is concerned.
Okay, Mr. Chandy, how crucial is marketing to the MSME sector?
Of course, marketing is very crucial. You have a product, if you cannot sell it, then you will run into losses.
Right.
See, for marketing, there have been two schemes recently. One is the procurement policy of the government.
Okay.
See, that is actually a marketing scheme only. Because central government agencies and PSUs have to procure 20% of their procurement from the MSE sector. This will enable all manufacturers to sell their products to this government sector. Another is the retail, the multi-brand retail that is now coming up.
Right.
This is a very big opportunity for marketing their products. Like Mr. Kumar has said, no, this company, the small industry, small units can sell directly to the multi-brand retailers. So this will help them to market their products. And this is all, especially this multi-brand retail is very important, because this this is one way of introducing India's small-scale industries to the global market.
Right.
See, global corporations will come and they will source from India initially. Later, they will source for the global market also. So, this is these two are big marketing infrastructure provided by the government in the recent years.
Mr. Jain, the problem of a lack of adequate marketing infrastructure, how big is this problem, and steps such as opening up the sector to multi-brand retail, do you think it's going to go a long way?
Definitely, we definitely at SOCHAM we definitely think so, and because if you see the composition of the industry in MSME sector, you'll notice that almost like nearly 37% of these industries are coming from food and food processing industry or the apparels or textile as such. So when we supported this multi-brand FDI retail, we had this in our mind that look, these MSME sector are going to be the most beneficial sectors by this policy of the government, and that's why we supported that. But apart from what my panelist friends have just said, one of the major problem which the MSME sector today is facing in the marketing segment is not only the infrastructure. The another thing is taxation, the GST. We have been waiting for GST because nowadays the limits which have been put up over there, as soon as the organization grows from one level to the second level as such, then various taxes are really making a lot of problems, and because of the bureaucracy and inspector Raj in this country, I mean the small entrepreneur or enterprise face a lot of hurdles over there. Plus, when he tries to sell it cross-border, even the cross-border or the city or the state, then he faces a lot of taxes and complications over there. So he's not able to grow for that matter. And that is the general complaint of our members that look, we have been virtually waiting for GST. So we from the, SOCHAM, we can just request to the government of India and Mr. Sushil Modi, who is the chairman of this committee, to pass the GST as soon as possible for not only the big companies, for the MSME sectors also.
All right, Dr. Kumar.
Yeah, the point that Mr. Chandy made about public procurement policy, that government has come out recently last year with a very innovative policy that all government departments, ministries, public sector corporations, whether it is defense, railways or all, they will buy at least 20% of their annual procurement, annual purchases from the micro and small sector. Now you see, this has opened up a tremendous opportunity for the micro and small enterprises.
Right.
To by way of a new market to the government. Presently it is 5 to 6%, and you know, once it goes to 20%, as per one estimate, it's almost 75-80,000 crore additional. So this is one way of providing encouragement and opening up to the micro and small sector. This is a great help which micro and small sector is, and we are now building the systems and certifying, the process of establishing the vendors and certifying their capacities, making them eligible. One more scheme that is very useful is that small industries individually, they are not able to participate in big procurement tenders.
Okay.
Individually, because their capacity is being limited. So we form their consortia, groups.
Okay.
Groups of identical units which are manufacturing identical products, giving them the specifications and the design, and so that they can uniformly manufacture, and putting together a group, and a big tender can be procured by us and then given to them in their smaller quantities as per their capacities, and then they supply. So these are some of the programs which are really helping the small industries, micro and small industries, in tackling this problem of marketing.
And also multi-brand retail, as Mr. Chandy said, it's going to open up new avenues and also open them up to the international market out there.
Sure, surely, because that is one of the requirements of the multi-brand retail was that they have to source some quantities and some value from the Indian micro and small industries.
Right.
Naturally, it is going to open up further opportunities for the micro and small sector in the country, that they will find this new avenue.
Right. Well, on that note, it's time for us to slip into yet another break in the program. Stay with us. We'll be right back. back to Public Forum. We are discussing the challenges faced by the MSME sector. Mr. Jain, we've been discussing the problems faced by the MSME sector. We've discussed lack of availability of timely credit, high cost of credit, collateral requirements, etc. What would be the other challenges that the sector is faced with, according to you?
See, the other problems which have been faced to our SME sector is primarily three, which we have not discussed so far in detail. One is the labor laws. In the labor laws, I'll categorize it in such a fashion that, look, for the big companies, they have got the infrastructure, they have got the money and resources to handle the labor when they create the problem, one, for their growth or for their upgradation of the tech skills, and third, and very important, to tackle the union problems. While a small company, it is really a challenge. And number four is, in this category, the laws which have been mentioned, the framed, the Inspector Raj is really harassing laws for the SME sectors as such. And the second point which we need to address over there for the MSME sector is primarily the technology upgradation.
Right.
The technology upgradation is a challenge for them in the sense that they are not able to get the proper information, the proper resources, and third, the finance for it, and fourth, the maintenance of this technology. And the third point, broad point in this particular sector is primarily their competition from the overseas markets, which we have seen. You meet any of these MSME sector entrepreneur or businessmen, their first question is that overseas the people are getting blah blah subsidies or blah blah facilities of electricity, land price, this, that, at a subsidized rates, while in India government is not giving it to us. While we try to convey to them that, look, over there the governments have got huge money. We at Indian government, we have got the limited resources, and whatever Indian government have got the limited resources, it's deploying it. While it's deploying it, we have got to make the policies which we at our SOCHM platform or chamber platform, we are taking your problems to the relevant department, and we are trying to see that they are addressed as such for while implementation.
Okay, Mr. Jain, since we're running out of time, I have to cut you short here. Dr. Kumar, each of these problems, let's begin with the problem related to labor laws. Now, we understand there is a multiplicity of laws, a host of laws that govern the labor environment in the country, and there is a demand for a comprehensive set of a different kind of labor law for this sector. What is a key demand that has been raised by the ministry?
Well, there are issues with regard to the labor laws which have been raised from time to time by the associations, including SOCHM and other small industries associations. These issues were flagged in the task force which was set up by the Honorable Prime Minister 3 years back. The issues have been identified. But you know, since millions of workers are involved, it's a very big sector all over the country, and hundreds of associations are involved. Their groups are involved. Consultations takes a lot of time because we have to do it. The Ministry of Labor also, or the other ministries, have to do it in consultation with others. Their unions, the workers, the industry. So this consultation process has taken time, but the issues have been flagged. As you asked me, what are the major issues? Major issues are not in terms of changing the laws. Major issues are in terms of adhering to the procedures, like making 20 formats into one format, like reporting every month to 6 monthly reporting or a quarterly reporting. Instead of 10 people, 10 inspectors coming every month, it should be given to only one inspector who should come 6 months, or it should be even without inspector, self-certification. So these are the issues which have already been flagged. They are there in the task force. The issues are under consideration of the Ministry of Labor and the ministry, and I'm sure that something will happen about that. Regarding technology, I do agree that there is a need for substantial technology impetus in the MSME sector, because we have to do the scaling up, we have to reduce the cost, improve the quality, because that will help us in, as I said, import substitution and also in developing the export markets. And that requires a lot of investments.
Okay.
In the last budget, if you remember, Mr. Jain, the Honorable Finance Minister for textile sector had mentioned that tough scheme is likely to continue. In the 12th plan, he, as if I correctly remember, he said that another 150,000 crores would be the additional investment which he looked for as capital investment in the textile sector, for which another 2,500 crore subsidy was also planned. So government is aware.
Okay.
And this is one area where, of course, depending upon the available resources, the advancement has to happen.
Right. Mr. Chandy, technology, we understand, plays a crucial role in the development of MSME sector. How big a challenge is this area?
See, technology, one major problem with technology is that it is rapidly becoming redundant. You have a technology today, 1.5 years after today, it's obsolete.
Right.
So this is a major problem. Another thing is that, see, in India, what happens is the government is promoting all the industries. It shouldn't be like that. See, you should bet only on the winners. If you feel that some company is able to scale up and it has promise, it can become a global, globally competitive, then the government should give it all-out support. Now, what is happening is government has got very limited resources, and it is spreading it very thin. It's helping everyone with that money. So nobody is happy, nobody is satisfied. So technologically also we can have superior companies, even globally competitive companies. Only again the government has to be more focused in finding them and giving them support.
Right, and this also brings us to the question of fierce competition, Dr. Kumar. Again, the market is full of so many products, especially from countries like China. So buyers, they constantly look for upgraded technology, the best price and the best product as well.
Surely, because it is the survival of the fittest.
Right.
Because if you have better quality, better pricing, then only you can survive in this market, because the market is open.
Right.
To the industry, local industry, as well as to the products from imports. Foreign companies also are there, in fact, to sell their products. But ultimately, who is benefiting? The customer. And that is what the ultimate objective should be. The customer should be benefiting. But the customer then forces, the customer will force the industry, whether it is Indian industry or the foreign industry, whether it is SME sector or the large sector, to improve the quality, bring down the price, and have the, ultimately growth.
In such a scenario, is advertising a challenge for the MSME sector? Important to build up your brand in the market out there?
Yes, advertising is a challenge, because small industries are not able to, individually they are not able to advertise or spend money on the marketing because of their limited resources. And that is how we have advised the small industry, which is yet to take off, of course, that they should do it in clusters.
Okay.
The cluster development program recognizes this need. There are almost 2,000 clusters in the country of various products. But this problem is a real problem. Advertising and building brands is a problem.
Right.
Because small industry has to really develop their brands in order to face competition from the foreign brands. Government has a program for providing assistance to these clusters for brand building.
Okay.
Well, that is taking shape, but it is, it has further to grow.
Okay, well, we've reached the end of the program, but I'd like your final comments as to how do you see the road ahead for the MSME sector? We know it's seen exponential growth in the last few years, contributing significantly to the economy, employing millions, as we've discussed. But how do you see the road ahead, Mr. Jain?
I see very bright role as such for MSME sector as such. The growth which we have seen in the past years, if you say that we have got 7 crore plus people employed, if you take 5 people of family, that means that 35 crore people are depending on this particular sector, which is growing very fast as such, and which is giving not only the upgradation of their living standards, which is going to be the bread and butter for this. So I see that the government of India have to concentrate on this, and as Sandy rightly said, that we have to concentrate on the winners sectors, and they have to implement the policies on such a fashion that not all, but some of the prime sectors, government have to identify and give them wholehearted support so that we can be the winner. Because as Mr. Kumar rightly said, that in the global world, you cannot stop the imports. But at the same time, we have to identify our strengths and we have to promote that.
Okay, so we have to build on our strengths. Mr. Chandy, how do you see the road ahead?
Yeah, let's see. One thing I would like to add is that with the internet, it has become easier for companies to brand themselves and to market their products globally. There are so many free websites. Support is available freely, and it's given by so many companies like Google.
Right.
And there are so many other players who are offering free websites and support to the SMEs. SMEs have to make use of these opportunities, and they now, of course, they can market their products globally. Globe is now their stage, not just India.
All right, Dr. Kumar, how do you see the road ahead in an era of globalization, also the global downturn that we are witnessing?
No, I personally feel that this sector has a tremendous growth opportunity in future because of huge domestic demand and huge demand which we can have in the foreign markets, developing world, the whole of Africa and CIS countries, Latin American countries, Southeast Asian countries. So we have a big market. We have technical competence available in the country. We have managerial strength in the country. We have a large workforce available in the country. The only thing that is needed is, of course, organizing the whole and helping the new startups.
Okay.
Once we do the new startups and help them, handhold them, naturally the manufacturing is going to grow and the small sector is going to have a good future.
All right, well, on that note, on that very positive note, in fact, we'd like to wrap up the discussion here. I'd like to thank all my guests for coming to the studios. It was a pleasure having you all here, Dr. H.P. Kumar, Verghese Chandy and Arun Jain. That's it for now in this edition of Public Forum. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.